everyone, and welcome to the fastest workshop you will see this year. In just 20 minutes or even less, we are going to build a self-service hub inside Slack. And if you are from an organization without a DevOps team, this is especially for you. Everything we're about to do can be built even without DevOps engineers. My goal is very simple to show you that it's possible, it's easy, and you can have it running in your organization today. And my name is Braimok Yosef. I am the founder of Sonora Dev, a platform engineering company that helps organizations transform DevOps from an operational bottleneck into a scalable internal product. I'm also an AWS community builder and HashiCorp ambassador, and recently joined OpsFleet as a DevOps manager. And before we dive in, why is it a hub and not just a bot? It may look like a bot, right? But in practice, it's a gateway to workflows and not the entity that's executing them. A real self-service hub is the place where workflows live, decisions happen, and developers actually get things done. So the bot is just the front door, and the hub is the entire house behind it. And before I build anything, a tool, a workflow, a wall platform, I always start by asking why. So let's start with why it matters. And it's simple because we want to run the startup right and not keep waiting for button clicks of colleagues. But why using Slack as the main interface for the Slack self-service hub? Because it's already the central place where your team's live. Your alerts, your bots, your daily conversations, they are all there. So adding self-service feels natural instead of another tool. And Slack also gives us a great UX for forms and workflows, which is necessary for us, and an insane integration ecosystem, of course. So it means that we can automate almost anything without forcing developers to context switch. So by the end of this talk, every single one of you will be able to spin up this entire architecture by yourselves without a DevOps team on standby. And I must say, this is not the only possible architecture, okay? I chose the serverless architecture because I want to maintain it as little as possible and even enable developers to enrich the hub by themselves if they want to. And the flow of our hub infrastructure is very simple, and it goes like this. The developer starts in Slack by submitting a form in the bot. The Slack sends the payload through the API gateway, which is actually our secure entry point. And the API gateway invokes the Lambda that acts as the orchestrator of our hub. The Lambda triggers the code build job, the relevant code build job, of course, that runs the commands we configured. It could be some shell commands, Terraform apply, and so on. And before and during the execution, by the way, we enforce guardrails and policies. All the standards of the organization should be inside as well. And the process is async. So we send status updates back to Slack. And when it's done, Slack returns the output and next steps to the developer. All right, let's start. Just 5 simple steps and we will have a fully working self-service hub. We will start with creating the Slack app. So we will open the page of the Slack API applications, create a new app, and from scratch, and just choose the app name. So I chose the name Botke because it will be our onboarding hub, and I will explain why it's Botke. And of course, pick the workspace. So I'll choose Sonora Dev and create the app. So why I called it Botke? It's like that tiny guard booth. In Israel, we call it Botke at the entrance of any place. And just like you ask the guard, where do I go? And he points you to the right direction or left direction. Our Botke does the same for onboarding, okay? You open the Slack, meet the Botke, and it gives you everything you need on day one, and you know how to continue with your trainings or onboarding and so on, all in one place. And the next step is to create the infrastructure, the house the entire house, as I said, behind our bot. So there are two ways to use the templates of our hub infrastructure. So if you want full ownership and don't mind maintaining updates, so take it from GitHub. If you want one-click deployment and automatic upgrades over time, use the platform. In the demo, I'm using the platform just to move faster, but both options are open to you for free. So I've opened the platform and searched the bot. I will click the view details and then I will use the template. I can edit any variable inside, but now we need only the app name. We can use all the defaults variables inside. After we fill the fields, yeah, that's it. Everything here is good for default values. We can just deploy it to GitHub. So you can see that it's deploying, and actually the deployment is just creating all the repository with the quick start guides and so on with the relevant variables that you edited. You can see here the quick start guide inside the README. And if you use the platform, you have the CI/CD as well. So when you will make some integration between AWS and your repository with OpenID, for example, or just set access keys in the secrets of GitHub, you will be able to get the deployments automatically. Or you can use the quick start guide as well to deploy it. It's up to you. So after the deployment, we need to set the Slack secrets in the AWS account. So the deployment created for us, the secret in the secret manager as well. And all we need to do now is just fill the values of the signing secret and the bot token. So the signing secret will be taken from here and the bot token from here. Okay, so now all we need to do is configure the app, and we have only two main configurations we need to configure. One of them is the scope, which is actually the permissions that we provide to the bot, and one of them is the endpoint URL. So we need to copy the endpoint URL from the API gateway. The easiest way, I think, is just open the Lambda function, click on the API gateway in the triggers, and copy the endpoint. So now all we need to do is just create the slash command menu and paste inside the endpoint URL. And that's it. After we add it, we have the slash command, and every developer that will run slash menu, it will show the developer the main menu of our bot cap. Additional endpoint we need to set is the interactivity in the interactivity URL, because we will not enable the bot only chat with the developers. We want additionally to that to get events from modals and interactivity components. So we need to paste it as well here. And as I said, we need to add permissions. For example, if you want to enable the bot to configure webhook in the organization, so you need to add it here. So I added all the things we need for our onboarding hub. And that's it. Last but not least, just install it. So we will open the install app page, click on install it to Sonora Dev, my workspace, and allow. This thing will show us now the botk inside our Slack organization. We will call the menu command and we will see the example action. The example action is built-in action in our template. So every time we will create in a hub from scratch, we will see this action. You can remove it, of course. So let's see how we can enrich the hub easily. Actually, how we can add new actions that will enable developers make things by themselves. So it's very easy. You can see that we have a folder named actions, and every action inside, like the example, contains only two main files. One of them is the build spec YAML, which is actually the backend of the code build. It will be a YAML with shell commands that will be executed step by step by the code build. And the modal JSON, which is actually our front end, we can call it a front end. It's a JSON that represent the elements that will be inside our forms. Let's see how we can build this JSON. So we have the kit builder in Slack. So I love this way. You just need to drag and drop elements, and that's it. Just copy the blocks list. And of course, you can use the AI like ChatGPT or Claude to generate it. It's up to you. So let's create a folder for our new action. I want to create a new action named Create AWS Account, which actually enables developers to create by themselves personal accounts that will help them to continue with trainings and boarding and so on. We created the modal JSON file and pasted inside the blocks list. And the additional file we need to create is the build spec YAML. So we can open the build spec YAML of example, which is actually just a sleep command inside. And let's paste it inside a new file. We will call it build spec YAML as well. And paste it as is. And you can see that we have sleep command inside. We just need to replace it with our command that creates the AWS account. So I use a Terraform apply command. And you can see that it's a truly Terraform run. And the reality is that developers don't have time or motivation to deal with infrastructure complexities on daily basis. So the self-service hub let us to expose these capabilities in a clean and accessible way without anyone needing to crack their head open over YAML or networking. So you can think of it as an interface for DevOps operations, a pattern that's becoming standard in modern organizations thanks to the platform engineering generation. So we want to deploy our new action. So all we need to do is just run the command make all or wait for our CI/CD for execution. After the deployment is done successfully, we can click on menu again and see that we have a new action. You can see that we have the create AWS account. And if we will click next, we will see the fields that I chose in the modal JSON. So we fill the fields, and then we will click on submit. The Lambda will receive our payload and execute the code build. You can see that the Lambda sent us already a message that help us to be aware that it started actually. At the end, we will get an update about the AWS account process creation. And that's it. I want to show you just a quick glimpse of code build because I want to show you how easy it is and how it's good in the DevOps aspect. You can see here logs, history. You can even export reports for the developers or even add it to the Grafana, for example. You can see all the payload inside the code build. So rerun a process will be very easy if we stuck or have some issue. And if you are ready to take it further, you can add an AI layer, of course. The bot, in this example, does not just answer questions. It delivers exactly the knowledge that's relevant for each hire's team and role and guiding them through onboarding with a simple conversation. Here are a few real hubs I've built with clients, and each one actually started from a single button and grew into a daily, reliable self-service experience for developers. So it's very amazing that, and you can see the examples, some of them in the GitHub. And that's it. Thank you so much. Feel free to scan and connect me on LinkedIn. Ask me anything during the break, and of course, stop by Sonora booth to build your own infrastructure hero from building blocks. Bye-bye.